Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dharma practitioners, around the world now already they start to celebrate the Vesak festival. So, when it comes to Vesak full moon, that is the most important full moon day according to the Buddha's followers, and we celebrate Buddha's birthday, Prince Siddhartha, and his enlightenment, and the Buddha's passing away. So when it comes to our life, even though this incident happened already kind of like 2,600 years ago, still we celebrate it. And when it comes to us, what we can get out of it, and why it is important for us. You no need to do it because other people do it. You no need to celebrate, or you no need to follow something because other people do, because we don't know why they do that. But when it comes to yourself, you have to have very clear understanding why you have to celebrate it. And what you gain out of this, what you understand about it. So in the very first level, this the Buddha's birthday is very important for all of us. And it equal to your birthday. So you born to this world. That is very important for you. So then you have to put value on you and understand the birth you have is very rare. The life you have very rare. And especially when it comes to this human world. And as you know, that the heavens, that all other planetary existence and all other living beings, they have some kind of capabilities. They have some skills. There are certain things that they can do and we can't do. But when it comes to consciousness and the awareness, this is the place that you can develop it. This is the place that you can develop your mind to understand how things come to be as they are. Because in any other living beings, they can't do that. So then when it comes to yourself, remember, we celebrate the Buddha's birthday. But at the same time, the very deeper meaning, while you're celebrating it, you are putting some value on your birthday. And as a human being, you born to this world. And behind that, Remember, it didn't happen by mistake. And it's not going to happen regularly. And it's not going to happen every day. And there are a lot of the living beings cannot go through this journey like this. But you are already have this opportunity. So then just look that your birthday, you born to this world, and out of this, what you can gain, that you are capable to achieve to the Buddhahood. You are capable to achieve to the most highest level. And then in day-to-day life, we're just trying to maintain our ordinary life. But you have to have some value on you and put some value on you and push yourself a little bit forward rather than just becoming an ordinary person. Don't be a kind of like a regular person. Just sometimes, you know, when it comes to pizza, you know, it's a kind of like a regular or some kind of, sometimes you can add extra cheese, you know, and you can add some kind of extra vegetables. Or if you are a meat lover, you can add some meats, pepperoni. You can go normal, but at the same time, if there is some extra, that's mean they put something more. And sometimes this beyond the extra, there is a pro, you know, like one time I saw, I mean, pro burrito. I asked, what is this pro? Because, you know, what is this pro? It's the same that whatever inside, and they give some kind of things more extra outside. As example, beans, rice, cheese, it's inside, then they wrap it together. But at the same time, they give something from outside too. And other thing is sometimes this, that you may sing this ultra level, ultra, you know, one time I saw this, you know, ultra breakfast. And I went through all the details and so what is this? It is different. And it costs some money. But it is not the normal. So when it go into ultra level, that ultra breakfast, and it has all the things little bit more, but it balance than the normal. All the nutrients, calories, proteins, and everything, they balance it better than normal. So that's mean what? So that's mean you can have this normal level of life. You can go like a regular lifestyle. That is what mostly we try to do, maintain our life regularly. If you look very carefully, what you do, what's your life? You just maintain the same thing in the same way. There's nothing special, and you are the same. You try to train your children the same, and everybody same. So you're going to have this life in a certain way, like what other people do, and you go behind them. You knowingly or unknowingly, you slowly follow them, and by the time you're going to die, remember that. You just die like a normal person. There's nothing. But when it comes to celebrating Buddha's birthday, it is more beyond something you have to understand. You have to think a little bit more deeply about this birth. It's not like a normal way that you gain. It is a very risky. And the one of the risk is that our parents take the risk behalf of us. Just imagine, Prince Siddhartha's mother, and she passed away because she gave the birth to the child. Giving birth to somebody need to die. And same thing, even though that you see your parents, and when they gave the birth in a certain way, they have to give up their own life. So then you have responsibility. You have this life, you experience this life, but remember, behind you, there are some people sacrifice their life. So then you have to bring a meaning to yourself and understand this life that you have. And you can't just, you can't just have a kind of like a emotional card playing game. It's kind of like sometimes like that. We kind of like we use our own emotions, we use our own thoughts, we use our own ideas. It's like a playing with our own life. There's nothing special. There's nothing depth inside us. So that's why when it comes to celebrating Buddha's birthday, remember, it's the birth is the most important part when it comes to life. So you have it. So then give a meaning to that. And don't just have a regular, normal way of life. Because then you're going to being casual, and your life going to end up being casualties. This is not the way to end this. Another thing is enlightenment. And even sometimes people need to wait to find this enlightenment. Because this enlightenment itself means that the seeing the reality. So the Buddha is the one who first understood that. Why? Because we all are in darkness. Darkness mean what? That darkness mean not this will not live without a light. No, darkness mean inside us. That what we experience is difference. How it become different? Because outside world is something. When it appear to us, we experience different things, something else. So then it is very rare ourselves, we experience the real outside world or the real nature around us. Why? Because our cankers or our mental formations or the sanskar or our memory, our habitual patterns, more stronger than the moment of awareness. Because of that, what we experience, moment by moment, overtake by your own mental formations. So then what you experience with your perception, what you perceive, is sometimes not real. What does mean not real? Not real means that what really happening outside, maybe we don't see. So then what you need to do? When you have the awareness, it gives the power for yourself to rub and cut it and burn it and clean it and see what is this, what you experience. So having that ability will take you to the light. That light means that deeper inner understanding about this everything, how things come to be as they are. So then when we celebrate enlightenment, then you have to remember just being ordinary person is your choice. And at the same time, there is another version of you. there is another level of you. If you become very careful and if you know that, if you see it, so then you can experience the life like this, and then same thing you can experience more higher level. So when we celebrate enlightenment, it gives us the opportunity to appreciate that. And appreciate that because the human life depends on the qualities. So the quality is not going to develop in us if we don't remind or reflect, or if we don't appreciate it. If you criticize any quality, you can't develop it inside you. So when we celebrate the enlightenment, one thing is we appreciate that. And knowingly, there is something beyond that what we experience. Another thing is it will help us to cultivate it inside us. So then deeply, it takes us to understand that what we keep doing is not the way to get out of this. This way, what we keep doing, what you and me as ordinary people, whatever we keep doing, it will help us to go in this life. But to exit, get out of this, void from this, there is another way we have to follow. That is what the Dharma. So when it comes to the Dharma, what the Buddha taught in the very first level, life is suffering. So then, but when it comes to ourselves, our personal life, are we really understand it? We think, oh, life is suffering, but still I can do something better. It's going to be okay for me. I know how to do these things. I know how to play the game. So that's what we think. But it's not going to happen. That's everything. Why? Because this everything is belong to something else. Another thing is impermanence. So then anything is not going to be permanent. So then don't look for that. And the other thing is there is no such a self or I am exist permanently forever. There is nothing in this body exist without changing. But still, when it comes to our ideas, we always hold it to that. So the Buddha himself gave these beautiful teachings to us because understanding that for the very first time is a miracle. So then you have to remember that listening to that, practicing it, and little bit giving you a time to understand it, you become part of that miracle. Because this is not going to happen every day. There is a time going to come, this Dharma going to vanish from the world. No one knows about this Dharma. They will know many other good things, but they don't know about what is the real liberation, Nibbana, and what is the real suffering, and what is the real unsatisfactory nature, and what is real selflessness. That another way, by the time, as you know, nowadays we have this meaning crisis. And when it comes to liberation, there are people understand it in a different way. And even when it comes to tranquility state, they mean it in a different way. And when it comes to suffering, they mean it in a different way. So then it is your responsibility. Get the right understanding before this vanish. It's going to happen very soon. Why? Because so much information keep coming. And then by the time the very right meaning, we losing little by little, little by little. And when it comes to meditation, look, and there are a lot of people bring different interpretations now regarding the meditation. And when it comes to meditation techniques, there are different people bring different meditation techniques. So then within another few years, what will happen? Maybe people start to get something different. So that nothing wrong with it. That is because that is the nature of everything. But when it comes to you and me, we have this opportunity, we have this time. So then out of this, get the best out of it. Another thing is that when it comes to the Buddha's parinibbana, or the passing away, simply the death, we have to understand, even you reach to the highest, this life belongs to the time. We can't escape from the death. So don't look for that. Don't wish for that. Any time it's going to come to us. So we have to accept it. But before you die, you can come to a level to develop your mind not to born again. Because to burn, to birth happen because of the karma. So then yourself, if you understand that, and if you get out of the intention deeper to become again, so in that way, yourself, you will not going to born again. So it is a process that you have to develop in you. So otherwise, it's not going to happen. It will go again and again, keep follow the karma behind. But it is possible yourself to understand this life happened because of the karma, the birth, and at the same time, in this very lifetime, we can develop our mind to clean our intention and get out of that. And before you die, you can come to the point not to born again. So it is possible. So then rather than struggling with the death, rather than focusing to death and try to do the right things in this very moment. So when it comes to that, the most important thing that before Buddha passed away, the monk gathered and asked Venerable Sir, what you can say? What is your last word? And out of this all wisdom, what is the advice you can give? And then what the Buddha said, Appamadena sampadeta. Don't be late. Don't have this heedlessness, procrastination. So that is something kind of like the inner laziness. You always neglect things. We always postpone things. And we always have this laziness inside us. So that laziness mainly not about this outside thing, that laziness about the inside us, our own, regarding our own inner development. So just imagine yourself that you know there are certain things that you should not do. And at the same time, you know yourself there are certain things you want to gain, you want to achieve. You know there are things that you have to bring something and get out of certain things. So you know that, but still you can't do. Why you can't do it? Not because sometimes you think, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. There are more things I have to do. Oh, I will do it more later. So that's why you have to understand the major thing as major, minor things as minor in your life, in day-to-day life. So when it comes to that, This procrastination is a kind of like this inside all of us. It's a kind of like inbuilt hindrance. You always think, I'll do it. I will do it later. I know how to do. I will do it later. And heedlessness. Always pushing forward. Tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. And inside, let it be. And all the unprofitable things, you know it is there and let it be. I can deal with it later. But you don't know, it all grow while you're allowing it to be there. And little by little, all unprofitable things keep growing inside us. So that's why as soon as possible, when you see something unprofitable for you, you have to stop it. To stop that, there are many ways. So then use whatever possible. And there are a lot of profitable things we need to cultivate in us. We know that. But still, we don't take any action for that. We don't practice it because what you practice, you become. So if you don't practice it, it's not going to become. So maybe you know it, it is there, but not in practice. So then bring it to that. And whenever you have time, so whatever the abilities that you have, then use it. And as much as you can, don't wait till that everything going to be perfect. It's not going to be like that. Don't follow that perfection. This imperfection is the moment to do something perfect. So imperfection always going to be there, but yourself, if you have the awareness, clarity in you, and put the effort to do your best. And that is where your procrastination can become weaker and you can get out of it. That is where you can develop this heedfulness. That is where that you can get out of this laziness. When you become lazy, what will happen? When you postpone, what will happen? When you have the procrastination, what will happen? Why Buddha said it is the most dangerous thing? Don't do this. Don't allow it to happen. Because if you postpone, when you become late, it takes you to mistakes. When you become late, so then later you become hurry. When you become hurry, you get mad, angry, and you can't do the things properly. And you make a lot of mistakes. And it affects for your self-confidence. It affects for your self-abilities. It affects for your self-responsibilities. So that's why, remember, even though we think this life is belong to us, this everything belong to time, we can't change that. There's nothing belong to you. You have to clearly understand it. Don't try to make anything happen the way you want. It's not going to happen. Only thing is you will wrestling with the life, you will struggle with the life. You have to understand this all belong to time. And once you know that, you merge with it, you go with it. Another way, you develop the flow to do things properly as much as you can according to time, environment, situations. That's whatever the space around you. And that give a kind of like a peace, satisfaction to yourself in a very conventional level. So that is very necessary. Once you have it and you have the balance in your life, so with that balance, you can go more deeper into understand about this life. So that's why remember yourself. Celebrating the Buddha's life or the enlightenment or the passing away, this all important for us because it helps us to grow ourselves and understand ourselves and become more better people ourselves and get into more higher version ourselves rather than just having a normal or regular way of lifestyle. So then when it comes to that, as Buddha's followers, we keep our mind in the highest place, not in the kind of like here and there. We keep our mind in the highest place. It's even beyond the sky. That is the Nibbana. So then in day-to-day life, don't just maintain according to the things that you experience. Why? Because what you experience is not the reality. There is something beyond your experience. For that, you have to have some extra clarity to understand that. So that is where you see this whole how this everything change moment by moment. When you tune to that, it becomes irreversible wisdom to yourself. So then, before you die, experience it. Don't let this everything to become a story, because we are so easily caught up on stories, especially when it comes to the Dharma, when it comes to meditation, when it comes to mental practice. It's a most of time we caught up in a story. So don't become a part of that story. So when you follow the Buddha's teaching means you don't go with that story. You start to tune to the reality. So that reality come out of your own practice, out of your own choice, out of your own awareness. So it is your choice. So put values, some value on you and develop it in you and gain the result yourself. And then you will see what the Buddha taught. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left hand, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Scan head to toes yourself and say Suapateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens through the sensation, recognize it Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. Your backside. Your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this meritorious deed to all our past relatives, and at the same time, by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma nudhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.